What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about the importance of changing out your engine oil. So if you take a look at this engine right here, this is out of a 2017 Tacoma. Now, this Tacoma right here clearly didn't keep up with their service interval for their oil changes. Now, there is nothing wrong with changing out your oil earlier during the recommended service interval provided by the manufacturer. The problem is when you exceed that service interval and you choose to go 15,000 miles, 20,000 miles. I've seen customers come in and I'm trying to look in their service record or service history to see when was the last time they had an oil change. Sometimes I see the sticker on the windshield that say, hey, Mr. So-and-so, you were supposed to return back at 150. Now I look at your speedometer, I see 175, 180,000 miles. Okay, maybe life got in the way. You got a little bit busy and you forgot to change your oil. That's fine, but this is the outcome. If you take a look at this engine, look at the sludge buildup that's in this engine. That is clearly from not changing your oil on time. And you clearly have a history of doing that. So clearly, if you change it every 5,000 miles, like you were supposed to, 10,000 miles, this would not be the case. Now, if you look inside, sometimes this could be caused by an overheating condition where the engine got extremely hot and it started to cook the oil inside, where the oil actually, inside of the engine actually became like a frying pan. So you got oil, you got this hot metal, those two things combined, it becomes like a hot skillet. But that's not the case. Normally you will see discoloration inside of the engine, you'll see discoloration on the cam lobes, and some discoloration on the cylinder walls. But the brown stain color you see inside of this engine, that's on the cams, on the side of the block, that's on the tray right above the oil pan, that's a clear indication that this customer didn't change their oil in a timely manner. So they forgot to skip their routine. They just maybe forgot, like I said, life got in the way. But as you can see, that this engine is pretty much toast. Nothing we can do other than either sell them a used engine, or if they want to really come out of pocket, we can rebuild it for them. Short blocks, cylinder heads, valves, everything, the whole 9 yards. Now, this engine was still running. Believe it or not, this customer came in complaining about an oil leak. An oil leak is the least of his worries. Now, can this engine have overheated and may have caused this? It can, but the chances of an engine overheating and causing the oil to burn up like that means it must have overheated and you still continue to operate the engine. Usually something will give out first. Either the engine will notify you, hey, I'm running hot, shut off, or the engine will just completely die out because the cylinder heads will get warped and it's unable to run because it can't build any compression. You go ahead to try to start it, the engine doesn't start. So the chances of the car overheating will so long or getting so hot for so long enough to cause the engine oil to look like this, are slim to none. The engine will die out before it gets a chance to look like this. But what this looks like to me is the customer skipping out on their oil changes. And I see it all the time. Even in this one, I looked at the history. The last time they were at a dealership was maybe when they had, I think, 15 or 20,000 miles. Fast forward to 100,000+ miles later, I see no record. Maybe a few mom and pop shop they may have stopped by, but I see no record. So who knows what kind of oil they were putting in this? So what you guys want to be careful of too, even if you choose to go 10,000 miles on your synthetic oil, no issue. I've seen customers who follow it by the book. They come in every 10,000 miles to get their oil change. This is not the outcome of that, guys. You could choose to stick to the service interval provided by the manufacturer and your engine will never look like this. I don't care if it's 200,000 miles, 300,000 miles. You may have other issues, maybe oil consumption because of the rings getting all gunked up and now it's consuming a little bit more oil than usual. Or, the turbo bearings may, start to wear out a little bit. But never will you see an inside of an engine look like this because you chose to go 10,000 miles on every single oil changes. It's unfortunate that they're going to have to come out of pocket big. Now, some of the cylinder heads on the Tacoma, this is a 2GR FKS engine, by the way. Now, they're pretty reliable, except every once in a while you get one that gets a air fuel ratio imbalance code where the cylinder heads, or the valve, I should say, gets carbon, or for whatever reason it starts to leak and you get that air fuel ratio imbalance code. But other than that, the 2GR FKS is a great motor. No reason why it should look like this, except for when you skip out on your oil changes. So guys, whether you choose to follow the service interval and go 10,000 miles on your synthetic, or if you have standard, you choose to go 5,000 miles on that oil change, it would not look like this. Now, there's been a big debate. Should I follow that recommended service interval provided by the manufacturer? Is the manufacturer trying to really save themselves some money? And then by the time my car is out of warranty, oh, it's up to you, Mr. So-and-so and Mrs. So-and-so. You know, do you listen to me the first few couple of thousand miles? Now you're out of warranty. It's not my problem anymore. Now, like I said, the customers that chooses to follow that service interval, honestly, as I drain the oil, it doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look like it's starting to sludge up and, you know, starting to deteriorate. The 10,000 mile oils or synthetic oil that's used on the most Toyotas and Lexus today, after 10,000 miles, when I drain it, it looks fairly good. Would I do that with my vehicle? Would I go 10,000 miles? Maybe when it's fairly new. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it, honestly, guys. But when I start to hit 30, 40, 50,000 miles, I'm going to reconsider doing that. Instead of going 10, I might want to go to every 5,000 miles. Or even if you're one of those who really is, you know, careful. You want to maintain your car. You want to keep it in top shape. From the jump, you started changing it every 5,000 miles. There's nothing wrong with that either. Like I said, you would never damage an engine by keeping clean engine oil in there. You can damage it if you choose to skip out and try to extend the life of the oil, or maybe try to save a few bucks by, you know, skipping out. Hey, I'll do it the next 5,000 miles, or I'll go another 1,000 or 2,000. But like I said, you know, $40, $50 oil changes if you do it yourself, or maybe if you take it to a mom and pop shop or the dealer, you might come out of pocket 80, but it's still better than destroying your engine, guys. So just be mindful about keeping up with your service interval. I can't stress the importance of doing that, especially with these modern engines, guys. With the turbos, especially on the Tundra, it has two turbos, two turbo bearings that needs to stay lubricated and needs to stay clean. You don't want to have sludge buildup from lack of oil changes starting to develop inside of those bearings. That's when you're going to get turbo issues, you're going to get engine issues, and then you're going to say this car sucks, it wasn't built well. But maintaining your car, changing that oil out every 5,000 miles, at least that's what I would recommend. If you're up there 30, 40, 50,000 miles plus, whether you have synthetic or not, standard oil or not, well, especially if you have standard. If you have standard oil, I'll go from 5,000 to maybe every 3,000. If you have synthetic, I'll go from 10,000 miles to 5,000 miles. But whether you do or not, your engine would never look like this 2GR FKS out of this Tacoma. Or maybe, you know, sometimes I got to be honest. Sometimes what can happen is you want to be careful about this too, guys. Be careful where you bring your car. So if you bring your truck in, like this Tacoma, for example, which it calls for 020 oil, synthetic, right? And the shop charges you for synthetic oil. Are you sure you're getting synthetic oil? What if they're putting 530 in there, the cheapest of the cheapest out there available, and they're charging you for that same synthetic that you think you're getting? Is that your fault? Because you know you can go 10,000 miles on every single oil changes using synthetic. You know, it won't cause harm. It won't look like this engine right here. You'll get a different side effect to it. But what if the customer or the shop that you're taking your car to is lying to you? I mean, that's something that's not talked about enough either. You know, that can certainly be the case. Maybe it's not the customer's fault. Maybe the customer thought they were getting synthetic oil and they were going 10,000 miles after every single oil changes. So after an oil change here, they had standard oil inside of the truck this whole time. They went 10,000 miles, so now they're 5,000 miles past due. And then by the next oil change, they're another 5,000 mile past due because they waited 10,000 miles again, so on and so forth. So the customer could be just as confused. They're like, hey, I kept up with my oil changes. Why is my engine all sludged up? Because you took it to a not so trustworthy shop, and they were selling you synthetic oil, but really they were putting standard, very cheap, so that way they can maximize their profit. I mean, it's sad to say, but it's a strong possibility. Some shops will absolutely do that to you guys. So make sure you know where you're taking your car to. Make sure they're trustworthy, and make sure you at least provide them with the oil. At least if they're reputable, they've been around long enough, you don't have to worry about that. But I'm just saying, it could be a theory. It could very well be the case that the customer did keep up with their oil changes, and that's what they were really running inside of their engine this whole time. So let me know what you guys do on your own personal vehicle. Do you change it at the recommended service interval provided by the manufacturer? Do you make up your own service interval, change it a little bit earlier? Let me know that in the comments, guys. In my car personally, in my Lexus RC350, the service interval is every 10,000 miles, right? Unless you doing, they have certain criteria where you would have to do it a little bit before. But anyway, for my Lexus RC350, I change it about maybe every 7,000 miles. I don't go exactly 10. I do it every 7,000 miles. So a little bit past the 5, but not exactly 10. My Lexus, I bought it used, so I couldn't really do the break-in oil change routine. So if you have a new car fresh off the lot, especially these turbo engines, I would recommend after maybe 1,000 miles, do an oil change. Not even waiting for 5,000, not even waiting to the recommended service interval by the manufacturer at 10. After 1,000 miles, go ahead and change that oil out, because all that engine material that was left behind, you want to have the oil filter trap all of that stuff, drain it all out, and then that way the inside is much cleaner, and then you put fresh oil in there, and now the break-in period is over. So if you have a fairly new car, I highly recommend that, especially with turbo engine. If you have a turbo engine and it's calling for 10,000 mile intervals, oil changes, I wouldn't follow that. Every 5,000 miles, or if you can, every 4,000 miles. Like I said, you can never go wrong with keeping clean engine oil inside of the car. That's all I got for you guys today. It's for such a cheap, easy maintenance, it's not worth a big repair such as an engine replacement or an engine rebuild. Now, there's some countries out there or some shops that would attempt to clean this and try to get all this sludge out, but the time it would take you to really do it right, and then the risk involved in doing it, and the reliability aspect of it after you complete all that work and cleaning, it's not worth it. You can never sign off and say this is going to be 100%, reliable after you're done with the cleaning. Even if you send the heads out to get remachined, whatever it might be, it's impossible to get all this sludge out. It's in oil passages, all the oil ports and galleries, not to even mention what the bearings look like. I mean, the bearing tolerance is such a small tolerance. And if you guys know the way an engine operates, that bearing and the connecting rods, those bearings are riding on a thin film of oil. It's not making direct contact on the crankshaft. It's riding on a thin film of oil. So what happens if that thin film of oil, or that clearance where it used to, be able to keep lubricated, is now all gunked up? You will never be able to tell unless you take the connecting rods out, use a plastic gauge, and start measuring stuff out. It's not worth all the headaches. Save yourself a big headache and some money by just keeping up with your oil change routine, following the manufacturer's recommended service interval. At least follow that. And if you want to be extra cautious, go 5,000 miles earlier than the recommended service interval. That's all I got for you guys today. Don't let your engine look like this Tacoma right here. Keep up with your oil changes. If you find this video informative, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. As always, thanks for watching.